Hey man, it's a James Jude Courtney. So how you doing, man?
Doing all right, bro. How you doing?
Good, man.
Awesome.
So how much blowback did you get for Halloween Ends being so disappointing?
Well, it was disappointing to some people. It was not so disappointing to other people. In fact, some people really loved it. And then there's people who are sort of ambivalent. But I think the one thing I really enjoy about David Gordon Green is he's willing to take chances. And and another thing I really enjoy about this is the fact that people are talking about it. So when you create a piece of art and you get people talking, you've done your job, man. And David's perspective is 20 years from now, it's going to be a classic. Just like Season of the Witch was, way back in the day. A lot of people didn't like it, but over time it became a cult classic. So that's what we see happening with Halloween Ends.
I don't get how like some high school kid could punk out like Mike Myers. Do you think it was because he was getting old and weak?
Well, here's the thing: is I don't intellectualize the character, so because that opens an entire Pandora's box of other probable realities and choices and da, da, da. But there's a great old film called The Mechanic. It was a Charles Bronson film, and in that film he plays a hitman. And there's a young guy who wants to take over his job, who wants to assume that he can be like the mechanic. But at the end of the day, the mechanic used his ass and then killed him. So there's a sort of mythological through line to what happened and why it happened, and the metaphysical realities of what did happen as well, energetically what happened to the shape, and how he used the characters.
How disappointed were you when they killed him?
Not at all.
I don't know.
They didn't bounce a check, dog. I got paid.
Money's money. How did you get in the frame of mind, like to know, like you are the star of the movie, but never got to speak?
I never thought about it. I go into mission mode when I work, and so what I work with is the character I've been given, the story I've been given, the people I'm working with, and then I go into mission mode and play my part, man. I mean, it's a team sport. I have a position to play. I have assignments. Every play I have an assignment, and my job is to fulfill that assignment. So I never did think about it. I still don't.
Besides your own, what was your favorite Halloween movie and why?
1978, the original, of course, because it was new and
Classic.
yeah, my God, yeah.
What did you think about the Rob Zombie remake?
Man, Rob Zombie's a twisted, twisted dude. So again, like David Gordon Green making Halloween Ends, I appreciate that Rob Zombie has the courage to step out and make his films. And gotta understand, man, making a movie is a freaking minor miracle when a film is made, man. So, some films I resonate with more than others for sure, but I appreciate that Rob Zombie had the courage to take his special thumbprint and put it on those films.
Now, everyone through Nick Castle is going to take over the world again. How did you get the gig?
I got the call. So the stunt coordinator read the script, and he called David Gordon Green, the director, and Malika Cod, who owns the franchise, and said that this script is different than any other Halloween script. Whoever plays Michael Myers has to have really deep acting chops and has to be a really good stuntman. And there's just not many guys who do both. There's just not many of us around. And David Gordon Green said, well, he's got to be 6'3", 200 pounds, and he's got to be in his 60s. Who do you know? And basically, I was the only guy anybody knew. So I got the call.
I know you're a stuntman and you got your role because of martial arts. Got you the gig in the Conan show at theme park. What martial arts did you study?
I started in 7th grade with a boxer from the 1956 Olympics. He combined boxing, judo, savate, and jiu-jitsu. So that was my first martial art. Then boxed in college. I sparred a lot. My sparring partner was a super heavyweight, undefeated. He ended up being picked up by Joe Frazier. But I taught him the first elements of what he knew as a fighter. Then when I got to Los Angeles, kickboxing, and then some weapon stuff, and then I studied with two different esteemed senseis, a combination of Aikido and Kali. Kali being a Filipino art, which I think is like Jeet Kune Do, is a vastly superior striking art, and Aikido it's maddening how long and how much work it takes to get good at Aikido. I was just in Japan a couple weeks ago, and I was at Humbu Dojo in Tokyo, my home dojo, and just I was really emotionally moved at the power of martial arts and how much it has brought to me in my life.
How long before did you think Michael Myers will be back in a new Halloween movie or show?
Well, they're making a TV show now, so they're going back in time. If I had to guess, I don't know. If I had to guess, it'd be another 8 to 10 years before they make another movie.
What is next for you?
What's that?
What is next for you?
I'm producing 3 films and a TV show. So I've got 2 horror films and one coming-of-age story of a high school soccer player that I wrote, and then a TV show that has a little something to do with horror as well. I've been offered and turned down quite a few films because the scripts just didn't grab me. And I've been offered a film just recently that shoots in the Canary Islands. We'll see if we get it. My attorney's negotiating it. So I'm busy, man. I'm busy. Yeah.
What do you consider success, and do you feel you have reached that definition in your career?
I don't know that I can define success, but I can tell you whatever it is, I'm not even near there yet, dude. I got so much work to do. I got so many things to accomplish. I think I think the goalposts move on that. You know what I mean? There is no end place. So maybe when I've died and I see on the other side, you can ask me that question again.
If you were on death row, what would be your final meal?
Good question, man. Dude, I don't know. God, that's a great question because I've never thought about it. Well, man, when I was a kid, my birthday meal was hot dogs and beans. I'll go with hot dogs and beans, dog.
That's a good one. If you had to pick your next project, what would it be about, and who would your co-stars be?
Well, I mean, obviously, my next projects are the ones I'm producing. So, this coming-of-age story of a high school soccer player is the one that's dearest to my heart, and we are going to be doing a nationwide search for the soccer players, for the 18-year-olds to play high school players, and for the kids that would ordinarily be like college-age players. We're going to use professionals. So, I'm so looking forward to that process of going across the country and finding guys who look like you, who play soccer. But when you're making a soccer movie, you can't fake that, right? So we've got to find guys who are really, really good at it. That's going to be so good because our casting director is renowned for discovering people. So is our director, and so so I'm producing, writer, second to directing, I'm acting. So I'm really excited to work with these newly discovered actors that we're going to come across. So yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Yeah.